Okay, welcome to another Vintage League here. Today we're trying out a new card from the Final Fantasy set, and that is Summon Brynhildr. And this is a cool one that's a bit of card advantage, especially paired with the Lurrus in our sideboard, and it also gives stuff haste. So, just a quick overview of the card. One in red, if it comes into play, you exile top card of your library, then you can play it any turn you add a counter. So turn 1, 2, or 3, you can play that card. And it's not cast, it's just play, so I think that means lands too. We'll find out in a minute here, but I'm pretty sure that's just anything there. And then the next two gives the creatures haste. So what you can do is go like Mox land, play this on turn 1, exile a card. Turn 2, play Hermit Druid with haste and activate it. And this is why we're trying this card in this deck here. So Hermit Druid is a very powerful card, but we live in a world where people are playing main deck removal because Mono White Initiative is a big deck, Lurrus Control is a big deck, other versions of Lurrus with creatures. And Orcish Bowmaster is a big card as well, so it's really, really easy, even game 1, in today's vintage, to kill Hermit Druid. So just going like Mox land Hermit Druid, it can still obviously get there, especially if you can back it up with the Force of Will or something, but a lot of times it won't, so we really want to be able to give Hermit Druid haste. And we've tried this before with cards like Breakout. I've had some good success with Breakout Hermit Druid in the past. You can find that video if you go back on my channel, probably a while at this point, but Breakout's red and a green. Look at the top 6, put a creature into play, it's got haste, that's a cool one. We're trying it this time with Brynhildr. And Brynhildr's got some advantages over Breakout. One, you don't have to stuff your deck full of creatures. This can just play any spells, so like even if you exile Ancestral Recall, you can just play that. And it also plays really nice with Lurrus, so you can just bring this back with Lurrus. That's kind of a little engine mid-game if you have to try and grind to win. Yeah, so that's the idea here. We're playing one other Final Fantasy card, and it's Starting Town. And you're probably looking at this deck going, oh, the 4 colors going to be tough on the mana, and it is, but we've got some new tools here with Starting Town in order to try and actually play this many pip 4-color deck. So Starting Town usually is going to enter untapped. If it's the first, second, or third turn of the game, it enters untapped. So just that's very nice. It can either add colorless or 1 mana of any color. So we're using Starting Town here in order to try and get all of our different pips early. Now, of course, we've also got Deathrite Shaman, which helps us smooth out the colors in our deck. And then we're just playing all the Mox in, and then all just on color lands here. We're not trying to get anything, do anything fancy with our lands here. No wastelands, no, I don't know. Yeah, no wasteland, no strip mine. We just want to be able to cast our spells and win the game. We're not worried about slowing down our opponent's development and stuff like that. We just want to play our very powerful spells and, you know, powerful combo pieces and try and win. That's the plan. So mana base is pretty simple. We're just trying to get our on-color lands here. On-color, you know, lands. Starting Town and Deathrite Shaman to smooth us out. If you aren't familiar with the Hermit Druid package, it's a favorite of mine. So basically, Hermit Druid says you mill your... we have no basics in our deck here. So it's green and tap, mill your whole deck. When you do that, that triggers the Narcomoebas to come into play. You can cast Cabal Therapies then with flashback from your graveyard in order to clear your opponent's hand of anything relevant. Then you use Dread Return, sacking 3 of the Narcomoebas, or you can include one of the Hermit Druid, other creature you have in play. And that brings back Thassa's Oracle, which if you have no cards in your library, you win the game. We got standard protection spells here, you know, Force of Will, all the good cards, Time Walk, Recall. Probe is very nice with Therapy to know what you got in name. And then we've got some other things that tie the deck together. So let's say our opponent goes turn 1 Deathrite Shaman. We're a little stuck here on trying to win with the Hermit Druid combo. We've also got then Psychic Frog, and we can try and just play a Lurrus Psychic Frog game plan, which obviously is tried and true and very strong, as our plan B here, and also can just draw, into the combo as well. We've got Fiend Artisan, which does a few things. It can find Hermit Druid, which is probably the main thing it's here for. It's also just a big beat stick. It can find, Psychic Frogs. If, let's say, our Hermit Druid plan is shut down, it can turn Hermit Druids into Psychic Frogs, or, other things like Deathrite Shaman against Dredge. It's pretty versatile. And then there's a cool interaction here. So if, let's say your opponent's got a Grafdigger's Cage or a Containment Priest in play, and you can't win with the Hermit Druid. Containment Priest is probably not the best example. No, actually it's fine. Yeah, let's say they got Grafdigger's Cage or Containment Priest in play. You mill your whole deck. Fiend Artisan becomes huge, because it gets +1/+1 for each creature in your graveyard. And we've got 3, 7, 10, 14, 18, 22 creatures in our deck. So this probably just becomes huge and lethal on its own. And it can just swing for the win after you activate a Hermit Druid. So as a kind of a plan B here, and let's say they got a Containment Priest in play and you swing and they block. Now the Priest is dead and you can, activate Dread Return to win with Thassa's Oracle in your second main phase, or with Cage you just swing and win. Now obviously this means, you can't always do that. It's kind of if they have no blockers or just one blocker, you can do that. But it is something you can do, and I think it's, a good thing to be aware of. Cool little plan B there. Yeah, I think that's the main. We're also trying out Suplex. Now this one's probably a little suspect in here, but I kind of want to try this card. It's a reasonable shell for it. Another Final Fantasy one. Deals 3 damage to a creature, and if it dies, it exiles it. The exile is really nice in a Lurrus Worlds. Exile Orcish Bowmaster, so they can't, bring it back. You can just exile Lurrus. It hits, artifacts to exiles them. So you can exile the One Ring. Your opponent goes, crazy opener with the One Ring. You can just exile it, which is very nice. So the exile is, extremely relevant. I do like that. And then we got Rakshasa Bargain here. It's kind of like a stock up, but it's not as broken because you can't play it on turn 1. But it does dig. It digs 1 less than stock up. Why are we playing this? I kind of like this card, and it's not a million tickets like stock up. So we're trying this one. This one's basically free on Magic Online. But you could play stock up here. It's definitely a deck that can support stock up. But yeah, we're playing Rakshasa Bargain. It is instant speed, which is nice, but it doesn't really matter on our deck. Anyway, we're going with this over stock up because I don't have stock up, and stock up's a lot of ticks. Yeah, but it's still a pretty reasonable card. And there are some, instances where the instant speed is quite nice. Especially sideboard when we bring in things like trophies and disputes that have a bit more mana-intensive interaction. Yeah, it's about that. Sideboard, we have our Lurrus here. We can bring back, play normal Lurrus game plans, bringing back these cards. You can do stuff like sack a creature to... You can sack Brynhildr to Fiend Artisan, get another creature, and then play Brynhildr from the graveyard with Lurrus to get another trigger on the top card of your library and play it. The little engine. There's fun things you can do here with this deck. Or, discard a card to Frog, obviously, and play it. Classic interaction here. We got 4 Assassin's Trophies to deal with stuff like Leyline of the Void and other issues. 2 Outland Liberators, and we can find these with Fiend Artisan, which is quite nice to deal with stuff like Leyline. We've got 4 Leylines of our own for the bizarre matchups. 2 Mindbreak Traps for some of the fast mana decks. And then 2 Mystical Disputes, which are pretty much for PO, but PO's extraordinarily good right now, so you need some respect for that matchup. If you're still here, throw a like and a subscribe. That's all I really appreciate. Help me grow the channel a bit. And if you have any comments, put them down below during the league. Helps with the algorithm and stuff, and I'll see you in round 1. Alright, Here we go. Keep. Snap, keep. Snap, snap, snap. Snap, keep. We're just gonna go turn 1 Hermit Druid with Forcible backup and hope they don't have 2 pieces of interaction that's relevant. Which, if they're on the Lurrus Control, is asking for a lot, but we're gonna give it a try. We're not shipping turn 1 Hermit Druid with Force backup. Leading with the Ruby here. Drop. Hermit. And let's see what they got. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're on some sort of a shopsy thing. Alright, we're a little frozen here. Trying to hopefully we unfreeze and we can bring in our Outland Liberators and stuff. Come on. Let me sideboard, please. Oh boy. Daybreak, come on. Here we go. Hey, we're freeing up. Can we sideboard? What a disaster. No. Sort of? Yeah, we got to bring in Hermit. Okay. Can we bring out stuff? No. Went to take out some Brynhildrs. Okay, we only half unfroze there. Oh, here we go. Brynhildr out. No, I want the suplex. Brynhildr out. Brynhildr out. Brynhildr out. Fiend out. I don't know how much time I have left. I'm just going to submit there. I think that's okay. Alright. See how this goes. We will take our Lurrus. Okay. I'm going to draw a Mox in here. Okay. Moxen. That is not a Moxen. Okay, we got a Fata Wasteland here, which is a big ask now that we didn't find a Moxen. I do think we probably have to fight over the Nettlecyst. That clock's gonna be... Do we? Swing. So they're gonna swing 4, 5, 6. If they equip the Nettlecyst, 7, 8, 9, 10. I play this. Yeah, no, I have to. I get raced. I don't have a choice. Not having a second blue card is very not good for us. If we had a second blue card here, I'd feel pretty good, but we do not. So they play something like a sphere or something here, we're in trouble. They're playing slow. I wonder if they're double queuing or something. Okay, that means we're probably dead. It's not a bad draw. Green, blow up the Nettlecyst. Yes. Or hold it up. I think we do this. We do green, colorless. Hermit Druid, Outland Liberator, then we pass. Then we can try and block and blow up the Nettle Cyst. Let's see what they got for us. So this feels like they just have a card that's going to kill us here, like a Rav Trap or something, but we don't have a choice because we're dead on the crackback and we can't get rid of the ward stuff. So I think we're dead here. If we had another blue card, I think we'd be okay. But we don't have a choice. We're forced to do this. We got the famous Matthias salt. Got a free the vintage Discord rant and salt channel. He's a frequent. You frequently see him, so that's funny. Yeah, good match. We bring in our Narcomoebas. We dread return back our Thassa's Oracle. Dread return, and then the Thassa's Oracle, and then we get there. All right, off to the next round. All right, here we go. We're on the plate. I mean, that's not ideal. So we mill 2 therapies. We have 3 Narcomoebas in play. We can hit ourselves with 1 to get the Dread return into play. I think it's a keep, but I don't love it. We have other creatures in the deck, obviously. If we draw any of them, we can use our 2 therapies a bit better. Did they just run out of Chalice on 0? Alright. Sphere of Resistance. Yeah, I'm going to counter that. Sure. You can have a Stone Coil Serpent. They need something to stop our combo here. Goalless? Not goalless? Scrolly Crawly's fine. We have to therapy ourselves. Dread return. And we can cast our Dread return. Alright. Looks like we're against Raker Shops, or no, we're against Sphere Shops. They have the spheres. Want the Liberators. Maybe. We don't need the haste here. Maybe even just a blue card. Don't really need the therapies. If they've got something that works, it's gonna be like instant speed, really. I think this works. Now it's a nice hand, but no land makes this one kind of rough. Oh boy. This is pretty awful too. Alright. Okay. Sure. Yep. Can still cast the recall off of this. Okay. I think we just leave it like that. Sure. And we got there. Alright, good match. Okay, here we go again. We're on the play. We got a Lurrus. Not sure where our opponent is. We gotta wait for them. Oh, there we go. I mean, doesn't do anything. Does stuff, I guess. Alright, we'll start off with our Deathrite Shaman here. Can give our frog haste if we sequence this Brynhildr into frog. Just something. Looks like Lurrus Control. Yeah, that's fine. We want to go Brynhildr or frog. I think we want to go Brynhildr. 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 Do 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 do. You can orc this. They might try and just orc it. Of course it will. And we can play that. So if we draw a Hermit Druid, we can play a Hermit Druid and cast that, I think, as protection. Sure. They going to force it? They are. Okay. Let's see if they want to fight that. They can just discard both of their cards if they want. Let's see what they do. All right. They should have just exiled that to Frog. They can't discard anymore, so if they block this, we trade. Okay. On there, sure. We got another frog. It's interesting. Well, let's see if they want to block our frog. Okay. don't want the I think we can't let them get the frog back here. They can have the Lotus, but I don't want them to get the frog. That's a good one. You got a fatal push? Yep. Yeah, it's a problem. Jeez. Alright, so I think we're dead now. Certainly feels that way. I think we just swing first. We do have some draws that are quite good. Okay, it's a good one. Let's see what they got. They definitely could have a removal spell or a Orcish Bowmaster or something, but okay. They found a removal spell there. Oh, they found a removal. No, they found an Orcs. Ah, that's so annoying. Now if we mill ourselves, we die. They got lucky. Alright. Alright. Ugh, jeez. We take a ping even from this, don't we? Okay. That was a rough work at Spellmaster there. But we had it. But, you know, obviously they got pushes and Orcs in the deck that can draw them, but it was, you know, rough. Rough one. Not sure what we could possibly... There's like... There are some sequences, like... We could draw Brynhildr into Hermit Druid. That could get us a win. Is this cast? We could almost get it. So, like, we can bring back Brynhildr. We can't block the frog, which is a big problem. And we're just dead, aren't we? Yeah. I guess we can bring back the frog. And chump. It's not a good plan. If it was the next one enters the battlefield, we could have brought back Brynhildr and then sacrificed... Oh no, we need the Dread Return to win. It doesn't work. So... Without the Hermit Druid, we don't even have like Brynhildr into Deathrite Hermit for the win. I think we're just like stone cold dead. I now have a blocker, so we really are stone dead. We have no outs. We will still cast Brynhildr. And we die. Take out my forces. And I bring in my trophies. All right. I don't think we've involved Lurrus enough. I think we need to up our Lurrus game here. Oh boy. I guess so. Trying to find a Moxen here. One of these gun colory Moxens. Alright. Still want a John Colory Moxen. We should have a Scryland in this deck. Okay. Polluted Delta, Lotus. Oh boy. Alright, Demonic Tutor. Awkward. Okay. That is bad for us. Oh boy. I think we're dead. Maybe we should have just attacked and forced them to double discard and trade. I don't see any way we win this now. Okay. We'll do this. We'll get Lurrus. See if they want to block here. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's bad. Alright, we're dead. Double Wasteland Edison. Never say never. Land here might do it. I mean, we're gonna give it a try. Green, red, blue, green. Alright, let's see if they can kill us. Right now they got 4 power on board, 3 cards in hand, they're drawing 3 more. So, should be pretty simple for them, but let's see. They got a... What they got? Okay, we're super dead. It's fine. GG's. Alright, here we go. Round the play. We got a Lurrus. Yep. Alright, so on Countervine, I guess. We can't make red, green, and black. So we can't, you know. I think we go for forest first. Ah. Not Countervine. Maybe I should have just played the Narcomoeba and hit the PO. Hard to say. Now they got a PO. They could get them there. Ancient Tomb, Mana Crypt, Lotus, PO. Oh, they found a Tinker. Okay. Okay. Maybe I guess I should have just gone for the win. I don't know. I think we played the Brynhildr to give it haste next turn. Yeah, or just play the Hermit so they don't draw a Force of Will, I guess. Mm-hmm. I get a PO again? Ah, shit. Alright, well now we're dead. Should have just gone for it. Alright, well, I can't believe we won that one. That was craziness. So I definitely want the traps. Don't think I want the Fiend Artisans. I think that's a bit slow. The suplexes can exile the one ring, which is quite nice. Maybe a Mystical Dispute. I don't really want the Brynhildr. Maybe Disputes. Let's try this. All right. Jeez. I mean, I think we just have to hope they're on a bad hand, right? They're not on a bad hand. I feel very dead. Maybe I should have just kept mulliganing. I don't know. Feels like you go low, you counter their first thing, and then you just die anyway, so. Well, at least we can F6 after this. Drop. Alright, you got it. Oh, they got the one ring. Now we can scoop. Turn 1 Psychic Frog pass with nothing. It's not good enough, right? I think we keep this. We're gonna try to win with Frog, I guess. Yeah, it should have been the black one that cast Lurrus. I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay. Yep. Yep. So we're definitely still in the not expecting to win this one. Red, blue, I guess. No, not sure. Maybe we'll even hold that for force. There's probably a case to hold this for force. Yeah, I think we should have held it for force, then we could pitch it to Frog if we want to. Yeah, I definitely should have had a... Alright, here we go. We can keep that. It's not ideal, but it's workable. Let's see what they're on here. Oh, this feels like Doomsday now. Well, it's not Doomsday. This is, I guess, Beseech. Okay. So unless they drew another Force of Will or a push or something, should be fine. Interesting. Drop. Try and bait something here. They did find removal. I don't think it's worth therapying anything. They draw a land, they can trap Thunder Trap Trainer. Blue, black. So it's some kind of non-Lurrus stock-up deck. I'm pretty sure I want all of this, right? Don't want the suplexes. Can cut some of the Brynhildr. Maybe one Brynhildr, one Artisan. That seems about right. Alright, see what they do. Don't think that's good enough. They're on 7, no interaction, no... Jeez. Yeah, that's worse. I mean, I guess so. It's not good, though. Yeah. 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 All right. You got me. Okay. That's a problem. I would like a Hermit Druid. That is not a Hermit Druid. Okay. I would still like a Hermit Druid. Oh, we got Time Vault Key. Okay. Now we're in trouble. Um, I think we play this. So green, blue, black. Oh wait, we got the wrong color here. Oh jeez. We have to take Force of Will Narcomoeba, I guess. So we picked a color of a land that can't actually cast Lurrus. That's should have had a Bayou. Alright. Doesn't actually do anything, but we can get our Lotus back. I assume that kills us. Okay. I'm gonna bring in the Liberators. Cut the Brynhildrs. And we'll give this a whirl. Yeah. That's a heck of a hand. I got a swords? Portable hole. Okay, well this has gone quite badly. I should have just waited on that till next turn. Yeah, I should just let that go. I don't know. It was dumb. Yeah. We're in trouble. Or are we? Yeah, let's see what they got. Stock up. PO for 2. That a kick thunder trap? Oh jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Mox Pearl, Demonic Tutor. This way, if they go for a vault key, we can do something. And if they don't, we can blow up the portable hole. Blue. Chain of Vapor. I feel like all the payoffs that I'm worried about are blue, which is why I did this. But I could get punished here by something I'm not expecting, and they've only got 4 mana, so they're going for like, what, a stock up, a Tinker, PO, that kind of thing. Time Walk. With 2 mana floating. Alright, we can just attack with our 21-21 for the win, which is pretty fun. GG. Ah. Alright, pretty good showing there. Nice 3-2 finish with the deck. We got bullied a little bit by Lurrus Control, but even with our attempts to make Hermit Druid hasty and stuff, that is still just a tough matchup. It's winnable for sure, but I don't think there's any way of making Hermit Druid favored against Lurrus Control. You can just kind of try and get as close to 50-50 as you can. And if Lurrus Control is super prevalent, just don't play Hermit Druid. Yeah, no, I was pretty happy with the overall. A lot of the matchups went very well, you know. Shops went pretty well. The Prison variant. We were very close against the Jewel Shops deck here. Got a little unlucky, I think. We're not playing any null rod effects, and that certainly hurts us, but we have a we have quite a lot of we got a fast clock, a combo. We do have interaction here. I think maybe like 1 collector oof in the sideboard is probably a good idea. You can find it with Fiend Artisan. I also just realized we're not playing Demonic Tutor. We should have a Demonic Tutor in here. That's a bit silly. So we should have a Demonic Tutor. But yeah, no, overall happy with the deck. It's pretty reasonable. I think it needs some tuning for sure. Like a lot of this interaction is kind of meta dependent. We're playing lots of like generically good stuff here. But the cards we tested outperformed. Starting Town was great. I think that's a really good card at trying to hold together a 4-color deck here like this. This is powerful. And then once you don't need all the colors anymore, you can just tap it for adding color to some of your spells here. Brynhildr is solid. It's not broken. You don't have to play this card, but I think with Hermit Druid and a Lurrus deck, it has enough synergy that it warrants consideration here. Fiend Artisan was fine, you know, trying that out. I'm not 100% sold on Suplex. This one's kind of a maybe from me. I think if Jewel is really high in the meta, it's definitely worth the consideration because of the exile, but it's basically the only reason you would play this is for the 1 ring, really, and that's fine. Yeah, no, overall happy with it. You got any ideas for how to improve this or whatnot, let me know down below. Happy to hear them. Throw a like and a subscribe. Helps to grow the channel and I appreciate it. And then if you can comment, you know, any ideas, that's, you know, engagement too and helpful. And I'll see you next time.